This going. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. Today is October 15th. And our training is about the state of the market and some just industry changes and things we're noticing within the company that I feel they need to be communicated on and brought up to our attention. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We have more people hopping on, so we're going to let it just kind of simmer down for about another 30 to 90 seconds, and then we will just kind of jump into it. Today's training is going to be really interactive. So if you guys have anything that you see changing in the industry, um, or have anything you'd like to bring up also, please do.
Can you change that?
What's up, brother?
I said rates are killing me. Can you change that?
Dude, I wish. Rates are killing me. They're killing us both. That's part
I
of our
had I had like four
conversation
four
today.
people teed up for refis that all committed to it. I'm gathering all the paperwork, and it's like the way the wind blows.
It is the way the wind blows. I'm glad you're bringing that up. That's part of our conversation today. Um, Man, rates are wild. Who else is noticing the volatility in the market with rates? All right. Everybody should have a pen and paper out because this next thing I'm going to say, I want you all to write down. Okay. This is Barry Habib, right? Barry Habib. Barry Habib is an industry leader in the rate market. He is someone we know, like, and trust across the country to watch rates. Now, why is this really important? Because knowledge is going to give us the confidence to talk about our loans and our ability to sell loans, product, and pricing to our consumer. But the number one question everybody has is what's going on with rates? What's happening with rates? When you look up Barry Habib, guys, he offers a great program called MBS Highway. And in MBS Highway, it gives you all the information you need to do to start learning about rates, how they move, what bonds to watch, etc. Right? It's a very high level detailed, but um, it is something we should all be doing. How many of us have been pricing out loans, like Greg said, the last couple of weeks, and noticed the dramatic difference from where they were to where they are now? Anybody? Yes, it's been crazy. So guys, rates are up a little over 1% in cost and about half to a little three-eighths rate. So rates are back up. Why did rates come back up? Quite a, quite a bit of reasons. Typically, when we have a rate decrease like we did, we always get a little pullback. Our pullback was a little more than anticipated because we had some CPI numbers and employment numbers that came out that were just not truly accurate yet. I bet you we get another adjustment towards the end of the election. Now, with that being said, consumer confidence is also a big thing. When the Feds came out and said they were going to lower rates another point and a half this year or more, the Fed rate, it made it seem like maybe the market is actually doing a lot better than people agreed. So if the market is actually doing better than what it is, it may um, brought a little consumer confidence or confidence that it's not doing as well too. So with both of those, we're seeing a recoil in rates, and rates have spiked a little bit going forward. So, like Greg said, if we're out there collecting docs, guys, and rates bounce on you, what are we doing to combat that kind of that hiccup? Right, that's a huge hiccup. I actually had that happen to me, and what we're doing is we're just having honest conversations to our clients about, hey, this is what's happening in the rate market. This is why the recoil happened and what's going on in rates, in my opinion. This is who I follow to get my consumer information and where I get my education and knowledge from. And it brings a lot of confidence back to the consumer, knowing that you are that true industry leader and you do know what you're talking about and able to save those deals. For myself, I was able to save those deals. I have them on the burner. They're still in processing. We still moving forward. We're just going to pick a better time coming into November and December to really execute and close this loan for them. And they realize that, we have no control over rates. How many of us have pre-approvals out there right now? We're trying to get pre-approvals going right now. I know Dulce has one. Um, Anybody else? Sam, you got any pre-approvals out there? Jeanette, Hortensia, Gino?
Yeah, I have one.
Ooh, good job, Sam. All right, I love it. I love it. We have 12 people in here. I can't see all, so I'm going to do this. That's good. That's good. So in this market, guys, it's super important. Any pre-approvals we have out there, any communication or rate updates we've been giving specific groups of people, our realtors, friends, family, past clients, pre-approvals, make sure we're educating and keeping them up to date on what's happening in the marketplace so they could follow along. So they're not hearing the doom in the news. They're catching the real facts from you guys, from the educated professional in the marketplace, staying on top of it for them. So as rates change, guys, we should be communicating with our particular partners and or clients about these rate changes. How many of us are actually using this as a tool to reach out and start conversations with agents and or consumers? How many of us think this would be a great tool to be able to reach out and have these conversations with agents and consumers, right? We should all be, everybody raise their hand, because it's important that we are staying on top of our craft and utilizing the tools at our fingertips. Barry Habib has a YouTube channel and some other free resources online, guys. You could also use an app that I love using. It's called Keeping Current Matters. You could use apps like that. There's all sorts of free information out there for you guys to follow along and watch what's going on. So that is something we got to be talking about. Next thing I would love to talk about today, guys, is as we're going through our pre-approval processes and as we're helping our clients with their refinances and with their just overall mortgage needs, we need to be asking thorough questions. What I've noticed is we had a couple loan files this last quarter or so that, small little things are being missed, and having key questions like any preparation is going to really determine from having a smooth close to maybe a slightly bumpy close. So having those thorough questions throughout the loan process is important. And some of these questions, guys, if you're not asking them, and we could drill down, and maybe I teach a class about this, is first our pre-qualifying questions, right? Before we even take a loan application, how many of us have an idea what pre-qualifying questions are? I mean, if you do, please just share what one of the questions you think a pre-qualifying question is important to have when talking to clients. Anybody? I saw two hands up. You guys go ahead and share in.
Well, like how much incomes you guys making? What's the expenses like? And is this first purchase or second mortgage?
Mhm.
So on and so on. And what's your credit score like, FICO score like?
Yes, 100%. Those are some key indicators. So those are great questions to ask. And when we're asking these type of questions, I almost turn it into like a story, a pre-qualifying story, right? Like, hey, hey, Greg, how you doing today? My name is Blake Corkill. I was given your name and number by Dulce. She wanted me to reach out to you, see if I could help you with your home financing needs and maybe getting pre-qualified for a mortgage. Do you have a few minutes? Greg's going to say, yeah, I got a few minutes. Go ahead. And I'm going to be like, all right, Greg, you know what? I love to keep these conversations just super tight. Let me give you a little information about myself. I give them a brief background of what I do, where I'm about. And I said, but let's jump right into the conversation. What do you do for a living, Greg? And Greg's going to go ahead and say, you know what? Hey, I do this. Like, oh, that's an awesome job, man. I know someone, or I relate that question to somehow. I'm like, that is amazing, Greg. Greg, when was the last time you checked your credit? And I'm like, oh, I don't really know my credit, or I do know my credit. Yeah, that's going to go either way. I have a solution for both those. He's going to give you an estimated credit score, and we're going to go ahead and take that down. And then if they don't know their credit, what I like to do is the free tool. It's called Credit Karma, right? So Credit Karma is a free tool. Anybody could download on a smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. Now, full disclosure, Credit Karma does not even get close to the credit score we need in most cases. Whatever Credit Karma is, that credit score, when we pull it, will most likely be anywhere from 20 to 40 points lower, possibly. But what does Credit Karma do for us when we have our clients download that? Gives us a baseline of where their credit is. At least we have a number to work with, because more often than not, I don't know where my credit's at. And then as you're working through that, you're going to start to work through those types of questions. Oh, hey, by the way, we have Credit Karma open, or Greg, I don't really care about what your total debt is on your credit report, but I'm looking for your monthly obligations. Do you know what you pay monthly for bills that would reflect on credit? So things like car payments, credit cards, student loans, maybe collections, derogatories, old federal debt. Let's start with a car loan. Do you have a car note? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I have a car note. It's $500. Awesome. Your credit card payments, again, I don't want to know the total balance, but what are your minimum monthly obligations on all your credit cards? He's going to go through and we're going to start to list those. And I'm going to go down the line of car payments, credit card, student loans. And then I'm going to ask about, all right, do you have any other debts that have been sent to collection, such as medical bills or anything else like that, that could be reflecting on your credit? And have you ever been in foreclosure, short sale, or anything like that in the last 7 years? Those are kind of those pre-qualifying questions. Now, how many of us on this call think it would be really beneficial if we started doing like a little scripting role play class for all the loan officers that need help just doing some scripting and role playing, things like this, right? Our pre-qualifying scripts, things of that nature. Anybody find that really beneficial here? Or do you guys feel like you guys kind of got that flow down and, understand some of that stuff? All right, all right.
A quick little add to the debt that you're asking about.
Yeah.
There are people that carry like credit card balances, but if they pay them in
Hmm.
full at the end of every single month, the reality of things is we're not gonna punish them just because they use their credit. And I could use
Yes.
myself as a prime example. That the freaking frequent flyer miles that I will put every single thing I possibly can on a credit card, but the balance is paid in full at the end of the month. So
Hmm.
even if you're looking at balances, or it could be that you have that company credit card where the company pays the balance in full at the end of the month. It could be sitting with a $10,000 American Express high limit. You could have like $8,500 owing, but it's going to be paid at month end. It's super easy to go in through the what if simulator and just reduce that and get rid of that balance and see what the score jumps to. But
Hmm.
I priced a deal last night for a husband and wife. She's 631, he's 681. They're between FHA and conventional, 3.5% down, 5% down. And the difference between the 631 and the 681, night and day. I mean, we're talking like payments almost $400 a month difference. MI, it's just like, brutal. But even on the credit cards, if people are paying them, it's super easy
Yep.
to get out from under that.
100%. Great valid point. 100%. Um, Guys, so kind of recap something real quick too is our questions we should be asking for pre-qual when we're setting up our loan files to know if our client is going to be ready for this transaction or not ready for it. Greg brought up a great point though. If they do have some credit issues, doesn't mean we can't overcome those hurdles and get our clients with a rapid rescore from 500 to 570 or whatever the scenario may be. But the questions we are asking, we want to inquire about their income and their job, employment, and history, right? That's going to be our first question. Then we want to talk about, hey, do you have an opportunity to know what your credit score is? If not, let's see if we could download Credit Karma. And then we want to know what kind of debt obligation they have. And then by analyzing, as you guys get better at this, some of you senior loan officers like Gray could spot this stuff from a mile away. But as you learn to analyze credit more, you'll be able to identify off the conversation of, hey, you know what? They probably have high outstanding balances on their credit cards. If we start to chip some of this away, maybe we could do a rapid rescore. And then one of the other questions we need to ask is about the down payment. If they don't have a down payment, that's okay, but we want to know how much money they have to go towards a transaction. Now, something that I love to say essentially is these pre-qualifying questions is going to put your client into a bucket. It's going to be a cold bucket, a warm bucket, or a hot bucket. And what I mean by that is if your client answers that yes, they got great income, yes, they got a pretty decent credit score, let's call it 640 and above, 660 and above, somewhere right around there. Um, Mildly decent to high debt, nothing overwhelming, but zero money in the bank. Do you guys think we have a loan product for this type of client? Good income, decent credit score, medium to high debt, no money in the bank for a down payment or closing costs. Can we help this type of borrower? Anybody
Yes.
blurt it out? Yes, right? What kind of program will we utilize to help this type of borrower? Borrower. I keep saying that damn word wrong. Borrower. Anybody know? Yeah, maybe down payment assistance, right? Something like
Mhm.
that. Right?
Like it's 0%.
Yep, 0% if they're VA, you can do 0% down payment assistance, Alhafa, things of that nature, right? Now, let's say the client doesn't have any income that's reportable, self-employed, tough to do, can't report too much income, decent credit score still, decent debt, but has a lot of money in the bank. Let's call it 15% down on a down payment. Can we help this particular client with a loan with not a lot of reportable income on their tax returns and or W-2s? Anybody? Some of you newer loan
Yes,
officers?
Absolutely.
yes. since
Absolutely, right? So, what we're looking for when we're doing our pre-qualifying script and what I'm illustrating is we're looking for key identifiers within that conversation that are going to allow me to know what bucket to put them in. If they answer yes and have down payment, they're in a hot bucket, right? They're ready to go. We need to get an application probably on the phone right then and there. And we need to start pursuing that because they got good income, good credit, they have a little bit of money down, and they're ready to go. Job history has been longer than 2 years. That's something else you must ask. Um, but if they come back and say have poor credit, great income, and no money for a down payment, are we going to be able to help them? They make a lot of money, but they have poor credit and no money for a down payment. Are we going to be able to help that particular borrower today with a loan? Probably not, right? So identifying what the credit issues are is very important. And then on top of that, setting them up with the options to do what? Get their credit fixed, correct?
Mm,
And how many of us
yeah.
have a credit repair? How many of us have a credit repair person that you can know, like, and trust that you could send business to that will turn around your credit repair clients right back to you? Anybody out there? Wilma, you do share your contact with people. We also have some contacts that we're working with within the company, but um, there are a lot of legitimate sources out there to help clients with credit repair. Make sure they're sending those back to you. Okay. Um, Now, on top of that, if our pre-qualifying questions are good, we're going to be able to identify what bucket they go in. Cold leads go into a cold bucket. Those are our follow-up. Those are our credit repairs. Those are not people today. Those are people 90 to 100 plus days out. Our warm bucket is anyone within the 60 to 90 day range, meaning that, hey, we may only have a small rapid rescore to do because we identified that, you know what, they need 3 more or 60 more days on a job, 90 more days on a job. They need XYZ. They're going to go into the warm bucket. Why? Is because they're going to be in the bucket where we know that we need to nurture them. We need to follow up with them. We need to call them because in the next 60 days, 60 to 90 days, they're going to be ready to purchase. Okay. And then we have our hot bucket. That's anybody that basically says, sign me up now. I have co-signers, co-borrowers. I got all the money needed to get this transaction done and or perfect credit and perfect income to do down payment assistance. Those are going to be our type of hot borrowers where we want to make sure that um, they are in there. So those type of hot borrowers. Anybody have any questions about a pre-qualifying script? Anybody have a pre-qualifying script they use that they would like to kind of just share with the group and kind of go over how they pre-qualify their buyer? No? Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, let's see who we got in here. Jenny's in here. Perfect, perfect. All right, next question is, how many of us are calling real estate agents or working the business with inside of our own real estate company to find loans and help agents with their loans? How many of us are working real estate business, our loan business, and calling realtors, cold calling realtors? Or all of you guys just trying to go loan officer to direct client? Anybody on this call besides Juliana and Jenny, actually? Any of you guys cold calling any realtors or trying to make relationships with real estate agents so they pass you loan business? Are you guys doing loans for your own business only? Or what are your goals with your guys' loan business? Because there's a
Well,
lot
I
of
do.
opportunity.
I just
Yes, go for
asked.
it.
I just asked them to use me, and then I pre-approved one actually, but has not purchased yet.
Okay, okay. And then when you're asking them to use you, Gloria, what are you asking for in the office? What are you going around and just what are you asking? Because you said you just asked them to use you. What
Well,
so kind of
well,
what is your
if they have a buyer, I say, well, I'm a loan officer. Would you like me to do your buyer's loan? That's what I would do, and then I ask for the requirements.
okay? Now, Gloria, you working out of Chino Hills, right?
Right.
So when you're in the office, are you asking the other agents if they have buyers that you may be able to assist in purchasing a home? Do you try to build the relationship with the real estate agents in Chino Hills to try to drum up business for yourself, get those loans out of the other agents because they need a good loan officer that works in their office that they can trust?
Well, most of them already have a relationship with other lenders. So the new ones, that's That's who I offer my services to.
Okay. Something to recommend, guys, right? We got you guys all got a license, correct? We're all licensed for the most part here. There's a couple of you that are looking to get licensed. We should really be building those relationships within to see if we could help our fellow agents with any of their loan needs also, right? So if any of you guys are prospecting real estate agents, there's also a script for that. And that script is going to be more along the lines of business to business type of script, right? Um, that's how I founded my whole loan company. I actually have never really done the realtor side of our business, only for my own personal needs, my own personal real estate. But as acting as a realtor or real estate agent, I have never done that. I've always been the one that has called agents to offer value. So they'd want to utilize my services in the lending field to help them grow. So consumer to direct is something I'm not too, I've never really done the Instagram model. I know it very well. I just have never executed there. What I am good at is also calling the agents. So a script like that, Jenny calls a lot of agents actually. I'm going to put Jenny on the spot here because she's good at it. Jenny, give me a little script you use and value add you use when you're calling your agents because you do make calls. You're on the phone with agents a lot. She's kind of like me, just primarily just a loan officer. Actually, she is only a loan officer. And give me, all right, give me a little script you use to call your agents.
So typically when I'm calling the agents, I'm kind of just calling in for a temperature check, right? I just kind of want to be a non-threatening, voice of reason kind of in the background. Hey, is there anything that you're seeing? Is there anything I can help you with? Do you have any questions? One of the biggest wins on the loan side that I found, especially when bringing in new agents, are you doing an open house? Is there anything I can get you for that? Do you want me to accompany you with it? That's a great way to build a relationship with not only that agent, but to also get in your foot in the door into those open houses where those are opportunities. So that's just a real quick kind of way to not butter people up, but kind of come in again, not threatening. Well, of course, anybody, anywhere, when somebody comes in, guns ablazing, we tend to be like, ooh, wait, I have my own person. Like we're good. So for me, it's always the approach of, hey, I'm just a friendly face. I'm here if you need me, but I also keep up with that. I do give out flyers if needed. I answer my phone if needed. I hold up my end of the bargain. And that's something else that you're going to hear from agents when talking about loan officers. If you don't answer your phone, the next guy will. So
Yep.
it's like making yourself readily available for your agents and being able to be there to touch base, to respond to those texts, to be able to take that call immediately is going to be epic in being able to retain that business from agents. They want to, know that you're going to be there working with them. So I always put a large emphasis on the partnership. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you to get where you need to be. I'm just going to help you with the loan side. I'm going to make sure that this is smooth. I'm going to make sure that this is effortless on your part and you'll have nothing to worry about. And so that just helps put them at ease that, hey, we're in this together. It's not going to be like yeah, I'm going to, send my email blast that I send to everybody else. You're never going to hear from me again. Maybe we'll talk later. No, I keep up with them. I get to know my agents on a personal level. I start, just like we do with our clients, you start to pick up on little things. Who has kids? Oh, what are your kids going to be for Halloween? Like just start those conversations with agents, and that's going to help you kind of be accepted more into them. And they have a team mentality. We want to be on their team, but we don't want to be the captain of the team. They want to be the captain of the team. So it's kind of taking that back seat to be able to let them know, hey, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, let's do this together. That's been a big win across the line. It helps me immensely, like I said, with agents. And again, non-threatening, non-pushy, just kind of get in there.
Sam, I see your hand up, my friend. Go ahead and chime in.
Hey, quick question for you, Blake. So, in order
Good.
for us to be a little more, I would say, can we also offer like in-house incentives for agents that uses our program? I mean, like whether we can, shave off some from 75 basis points to the house or whatever it is, right? So we got to throw out incentives for agents to choose us over some lending
You
companies out there.
Um, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Incentive is like trying to buy the business, right? It's more about value add. Jenny just closed 6 or 7 transactions last month alone, didn't have to offer a single incentive to any of the agents she's worked with. It's about adding value. If Sam, if you want to offer an incentive or you want to buy leads with agents, by all means, there are successful ways of doing that. But for the newer agent that maybe doesn't have that opportunity to buy that or do it, it's really about offering that support and offering that value to them in other areas that aren't necessarily monetary, that would help them. But some things that I have done, Sam, to your point, is I've created flyers for specific groups or specific real estate agents and or offices stating like, hey, you send me a client in the next 90 days, your client will get a $750 lender credit and or free appraisal and or something like that. That is exclusive to you. I don't offer it to everybody, or you could sell it that way and give them some kind of lender credits, free appraisal. You cover the appraisal on all loans from now until December. You could do those type of incentives if you would like. Those have been successful in some marketing areas. But what we found out just by heavy research doing this a long time, is that they're looking for more of the support, the open houses. I know you guys don't. If you're Sam, I think you're trying to be a full-time loan officer. The open houses are huge. I blew my business off putting things of water in my truck and going to each open house and just trying to meet agents when I first got in. That's what I was taught. I didn't know anything better. I'd literally drive my truck around, bring in half cases of water, smaller cases of water to open houses, and a little thing of cookies, introduce myself, drop my rates off and my flyers for that particular house. And I'd do 5 of those a day, Saturday and Sunday, for a few years. That got me really far. It was the consistency that got me further than anything, because people start to talk about that kind of stuff in certain groups and certain mixes and certain demographics. If you guys did that just within our brokerage and wanted to get more loan business just out of our brokerage, and you went to 5 of our agents' open houses, that basically warm introduction, because we all work for the same broker, the same company with the same goals, the same everything. And you guys just did what I told you with 5 people in our brokerage every Saturday and Sunday, you would quickly become probably one of the most talked about loan officers in the company. And you'd probably become one of the fastest growing loan officers in the company, because that is value. You're making sure you're just supporting them. You're showing them that you have it. You're giving them quality marketing materials, and it's not costing you much. That's like a $6 drop off, right? It's very small. It's $30 a week. It used to be about $6. It's probably inflation now. It's probably like $15. But either way, those are the kinds of things. And then once you get your foot in the door by the consistency and delivery you do, that's just one of many ways though. Um, it's the way you get your loan through the transaction also makes a big difference. I believe in what Ron does and stuff. His Instagram, Ron, thanks for joining us today. His Instagram, his Facebook, all that advertising and bragging, everything should be done in a video type of format. Should be advertised on what we're doing. Your updates should come every time. They should never be missed. Those are the key things that agents are really looking for. They want their loans closed faster than everybody else. They would like you to be cheaper for them. So don't overprice your loans. Know where to price your loans so they're not only profitable for you, but amazing value for the clients, right? So knowing how to price a loan, all of that is tremendous value add, helping that realtor close. This is my pitch to every realtor. All right, please keep your same partners. Not a problem, Greg. You know what? But let me do this for you, Greg. I guarantee I could help you close 1, 2, or 3 extra loans a year by just letting me get a second look at files that maybe your partner can't do. Let me start getting the second looks at stuff. Let me start getting the second looks and I could show you how competitive my rates are. After they're locked, we won't steal the deal. Let me just show you how much better we are than what they are. And it's about just building that trust. The consistency of doing certain things will build that trust to get that value. And it worked really well. So yes, you could create incentives, but the value prop needs to be strong. Um, I encourage one of you guys to stop by some of our open houses, or you guys also. Great way to build rapport and capture more loan business within the company and or outside is asked to do open houses. Like every LO should be doing open houses, especially newer LOs every weekend. I, when I first came to this company just 2 years ago, I was still producing. I was going to open houses all the time. I was getting 2 or 3 leads a weekend from open houses to get either refinances and or purchases or whatever it might be. I was getting the looks. It's get in front of people and to get the ability to get looks. How many open houses do you think our company holds every weekend that you guys in all regions would have ability and opportunity to ask that listing agent, do you mind if I accompany you as a loan officer to this? I'll have some amazing marketing materials co-branded. Some of them are going to tell you no, guys. That's the fact. But some of them are like, yes, 100%, please. Especially because the newer agents are typically doing the open houses, maybe not the powerhouse agents. So what I mean by that is I don't think Melinda's really always doing her open houses. I'm sure she does some, but I think she's also sending some of her team members the opportunities to go do these open houses. And you guys can create those opportunities with those individuals also. We have a huge array of network here that was not being leveraged that you guys, if you want to take it seriously, could go leverage what we have as loan officers. But takes offering some of that value and doing some of those things. Some people that take advantage of, not take advantage, it sounds terrible. Some people that love the opportunities presented to themselves is people like Ron, um, building out the teams, finding the loan officers, feeding the fuel, putting fuel on the fire actually, and just going with it. So um, guys, there's opportunity in here. That's why I ask if you go after real estate agents, because if you don't, you might want to think about if you're not doing a ton of real estate business, and or maybe I think Gino might be a team with his wife. If you're a team with your wife, maybe your wife does the real estate and you start to really focus on the loans. We see that success with David Jones in our brokerage also. David and his wife do that really well. He's getting more business. He doesn't touch real estate and he's such an honest guy. Guys, we're all honest people on this call. We're not going to steal anybody's business. It's setting that standard that we're only going to do loans and we want these opportunities. Gino, you would have an amazing opportunity to get some more business out of the brokerage like Jenny and other people. Alex, thanks for joining it. Alex, if you don't have your real estate license or if you do, but it works as both ways because people like Dulce and Sean Holmes and Gino, you guys are currently doing your own buyers, which is not a bad idea also. But a lot of opportunity in here. Any questions for me? It's 11:50 right now. Any questions? So we went over a pre-qualifying script. How many of us have a pre-qualifying script for our buyers so we know what bucket they go in, hot, medium, cold? If you don't, we went over that today in the beginning. It's about asking identifying questions to know where you to place your borrowers and how to either get them to move forward or not move forward. Essentially, it's the easiest way to put it. If you don't have a pre-qualifying, you're going to take a lot of applications and spin your wheels and not get the results you want because you're not pre-qualifying first. We've got to spend our time with the people that are ready now, nurture the people that are ready for later. So we got to find them. But the only way we could do that now is we're going to go back to the other side of it is we got to talk to people. You guys got to put yourselves in positions to get business. If you're in your house, that is not a position to get business. If you're not in the offices, that is not a position to get business. I'm at a grocery store. I have a funny, it's a running joke in my whole friend group, and it's been this way for 10 years. I could go in any setting and my friends know every time we go out, Blake's going to find a real estate transaction somewhere because I tell everybody what I do in the nicest, most polite, friendly way. I befriend everybody genuinely when I'm out and about. I talk about the real estate market at a high level with smart people. If I notice they want to talk about it, educate myself on what's going on in the marketplace so I can have these conversations. So I'm gathering the knowledge, which is delivering me the confidence to go out in this place and have these conversations so more people know about me. And then it gives me the ability to ask for business because I know I have the knowledge and the confidence, right? So you guys got to be putting yourselves, again, how many of you guys are actually a part of the Chamber of Commerce for your cities? If you're not, you should get involved. Get involved. Refi booms around the corner. Don't you want to know as many people as you can because they're going to need someone at their immediate hip to refinance them. Oh, rates are better. Let's refinance. How many of you guys are getting in the communities and doing any community events? How many of you guys have your goals set for next, started setting goals for 2025? Right? Those are things I'm looking at right now too. And technically, to be honest, guys, I'm looking at it now, but I'm kind of behind. This is probably something I should have been started in quarter 2, thinking about quarter 4 coming in. So I feel a little behind. It's a little nerve wracking. So these are the things we got to do, continue our business. I want to stress this to you guys, and I can't make you go do the work, but there is more opportunity that's going to be presented to you in the next 12 months than you'll ever know what to do with in your life. And you're either going to be prepared for it or you're going to miss it. And the way to be prepared for it is to get in front of people and start having these conversations about real estate, start doing these open houses, start gathering people's information, start making the calls and relationships. Whatever you do, all of you do it a little differently on this call. The way Jenny does it is different. The way Ron does it, which is different than the way Rilma's doing it and Vino and all of that. But there are some key proven success stories or links to success as being in the office is one of them. Being engaged in your office and your realtors and within what we offer in our platform is another, and being engaged in your communities and talking to people is going to be huge. You guys, I'm telling you, it could be a huge influx in your business for 2025 if you guys start implementing some of this. I see a lot of you shaking your head, yes. It could be a serious game changer, but we got to think about this now. We got to think about where our past clients are. If you closed any real estate deals this year at all, have you called them to see if you could offer value to refinance? So if you've done any transactions this year, they all should have had a call for a refinance already, right? Any of them. Doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent now and you just turned into a loan officer and a real estate agent and that deal was with another loan officer. Call them and see if that other loan officer is doing their job and offering value to your clients, right? Rates are good. They have gone up, but they're still good. There's still a lot of positive in the marketplace. Make sure we're executing on those things. If you guys need anything, you guys are kind of the core group. You guys are always on my calls. Book one-on-ones with me. That's where we could literally do scripts and role play. I only saw one hand up asking if we wanted to do a scripts and role play kind of series like the agents do in the morning. We could also join their scripts and role play. I think that's not a bad idea. Why? The Mike Ferry scripts are very translatable over to the lending scripts. It's just about getting comfortable and having those conversations. So you could get comfortable talking, and then you could rewrite the scripts and practice it a little bit too. All of it correlates. I get a lot of ideas from the Mike Ferry scripts. That's why I go to every Mike Ferry event and I don't sell any real estate, because everything he says, it's actual sales related. It's not, you could put a plumber in a Mike Ferry system. He will rewrite the scripts that are going to talk about plumbing a little bit. But if he does exactly what Mike Ferry does, you'll be successful because it's just doing the same thing and staying consistent, right? Doing those kinds of things. So um, I'm going to stress that to you guys. We got a huge opportunity ahead of us. What are we looking to learn though? Since this is my core group, I'm coming up with next month's training topics, and I always like to get the feedback from everybody on what are you guys looking to learn? Because look, I did FHA streamlines last week. I did VA EARLs the week before. We did a little pre-qualifying scripting practice today and state of the market, and making sure that we're communicating with our borrowers and we're checking our files 2 and 3 times. We've had some errors in some files. We got to tighten those ship up. Nothing anybody on this call did, but we just want to make sure we're staying in communication with our borrowers. We need to know that if our borrowers change jobs or dramatic things happen in the middle of a transaction, we got to get that information, things of that nature. But besides the stuff we have been training on, does anybody have any training ideas or recommendations?
So Blake, I got a question. So all that training
Yep.
that Savannah and Holly did, right? So it's
Yep.
always been recorded. Where is it? So I personally missed a
Yep.
few of those.
Yep. So the all the recordings are being archived on our 21st Century Lending YouTube channel. You could go to our resources guide and find our YouTube and everything on there. Um, Specialty mortgage programs and niche loans. Okay, more programs. Okay, perfect. But yeah, Sam, everything is on our resources guide. Do you know how to get to our resources guide?
Yes, I went through there and looked at some of the YouTube stuff. Some of the videos were like 2, 3 years ago.
No, we have a lending. You're looking at real estate. You're looking at Century 21 Masters. If you go back into the resources guide, go to the lending page of it, and then our YouTube's linked in. It's 21st Century Lending YouTube. It's not a 21st Century. You're looking at the Masters, and that one's been around forever. So that's going to be that has stuff a few years old because we've tracking it that way forever.
Okay, I'll look for it. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Let's see. Let me see if I could drop that link. Good job on Alex. Agent resources guide. Let me see if I have the new one. This is not it. Oh, 1 second, guys. Looking for. I know we just changed the URL, so I don't have it saved. Give me 1 second. Guys, I'll have Ashley send it out company wide here today. I don't have it on me. I know we changed the URL because we just rebuilt the whole thing. I don't have it at my fingertips, so I will make sure you guys get that. But it is our agent resources guide. We just started this month, so all of our trainings from this month are going on it. From last month, he's starting to archive those and back them up as we go. So we'll have all the past trainings on there too. I have six. He informed me that I have 658 trainings on my Zoom that we have to go through an archive. So it's going to take him a while. I've been saving trainings forever. I have 658 recordings on my Zoom, my personal Zoom account alone. Or my company personal Zoom account. So we'll get those archived. But anything right now for the month is up, and then he's backlogging that right now as we speak. Any other questions?
Blake, the only thing I can add is maybe
Oh,
because
yes,
a
add more.
lot of loans are becoming more and more FHA right now, just due to rates and DTI. Maybe
Okay.
some nuances on some FHA guidelines. Like I just came on a very weird one today.
Okay,
Um,
yeah. Share, please share.
so I have an FHA loan out right now. And what we found out is we have to do a second appraisal because the seller purchased this property on March 21st for less than double the selling price.
Yep.
So basically, because it was double the selling price plus 40K, it falls under the 180-day rule versus the 90-day
90 days.
rule.
Yep.
And they went into contract on the 179th day. So now we have to get a second appraisal, which the agent already knew, but is like now fighting because I'm trying to tell her the borrower can't pay. And she's like, show me the guidelines, send me the guidelines. That's she's fought everything that we've had to do so far, but like engineering certs on a manufactured home, elevation certs if it's in a flood zone, just some unique items that pertain to FHA would be good.
I love that. All right. So I have mortgage programs and niches, FHA guidelines on FHA loans and all the quirks. That is a really unique one you have that fell into the 180-day rule because double value. You don't see a lot of those. See a lot of 90-day flip ones, a lot of 90-day ones that, but nothing like that. That's good. All right. Anything else out there that we want to see on trainings? I got a whole month calendar where I'm trying to fill. I want to make sure I'm offering value to you guys and giving you guys what you want. We are a unique group because all of us are getting business in other areas. So anything anybody particularly wants to learn about, just let me know. If you're uncomfortable saying it today, email me on the side. Also, last before this, I'm going to touch on it. If you guys know any loan officers looking to join that are seasoned, that are closing 10 to 12-year deals a year, that are looking to join, especially you agents that have loan officers you worked with in the past, for those that have some seasoning, that have closed a good amount of loans per year, 10 to 12, we have some other opportunities I want to start presenting to people. If that sounds like you on this call today, because I don't know all of your guys' production, shoot me an email if you're closing 10 to 12 loans a year, and let's talk about some opportunities we could have going forward, and ways to help your loan officer career thrive and grow. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me anytime. I appreciate you all for being on here today.
Hey,
Thank
Blake,
you.
All right. Yes.
can I piggyback on that FHA and add one more component of FHA we should talk about?
I want all the help I could get.
Can we talk about doing classes on spot approvals for
Oh, yes.
FHA condos
Yep.
and the process with that? Because that is what I'm experiencing right now.
All right. Are you taking it to Orion?
No, it's with
Okay.
Flagstar. It's been with Flagstar. Nobody caught it until we were halfway done.
Oh,
So
no.
luckily they
Okay.
will do a spot approval, but just learning the process and kind of having that in back pocket is like, oh, okay, step one, here's what we do. This is what we need, like immediate, um, kind of requests. That way we have a better idea. I know me and Casey had to wait about 4 or 5 days to get the list of items we needed. So getting that jump on it is always worth it. And then can we also do maybe a proper pre-approval class?
Yes.
Like a clean pre-approval, and going through this business with going up against other people or getting the Hail Mary files from other LOs. it's not out there kind of what a nice, clean, proper pre-approval is. So,
Yep, I agree with you. Nice, clean, proper pre-approval, and then maybe how to beat some of the sloppy ones we have to compete against. How to piggyback that also.
what to look for on somebody else's pre-approval that you can maybe
Oh,
take
yes.
advantage of not doing.
Yes, I like this. All right, thank you for all the ideas, guys. This will be a good training next week. So we kind of have our training topics. If you guys have anything else, I'd like to get what you guys are looking for and what you need help with in your independent businesses, and we could teach on it as a collective. Because what are the chances that if you have help, you need help in an area, someone else on these calls needs help in that same area, so it benefits the group. So we all rise as a tide together, right? The collective always wins. So let's collaborate and keep the trainings very good like they are. So if you guys need me, reach out to me. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. I will see you later on the week. Bye now.